What's going on, JW Faction? My name is Josh Williamson. So, in this little video recipe, I'm going to show you how to make chocolate fudge M&M cookies. These are very easy to make, they don't take too long to bake, and they taste awesome. Like, I think M&Ms are such a good thing to add to cookies. So, let's get started. To start this recipe off, into a microwave-safe bowl, I'm going to add in 1 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips. And to that, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of butter. Now what we're going to do with this is we're going to put this in the microwave on high for about 30 seconds, give it a stir, and repeat that process till the chocolate and butter is melted. Alright, the chocolate is melting. You're probably wondering why does that have such a thick consistency like that? I'll tell you why. Whenever you melt a lot of chocolate with a very, very little butter melting with it in the microwave, it is going to form that very thick consistency for some reason. Now, if you were to melt chocolate with even more butter than I use, it would be a lot less, pasty like this. But when you use a little bit of butter for melting chocolate in the microwave, it will thicken up like this. There's nothing you can do about that. That just happens. So let's get on to the next step. For the next step, into a stand mixer, I'm gonna add in 2 eggs, about a teaspoon of vanilla extract, 2 tablespoons of milk, half a cup of white sugar, and a quarter of a cup of brown sugar. Now, what you want to do is you want to take the whisk attachment to your stand mixer, and you want to mix this all together until everything's combined and the sugars have dissolved. Okay, now that's all mixed in, what we're going to add is now 1 cup of self-rising flour. Now, if you don't have self-rising flour, you can just add 1 cup of plain all-purpose flour and add about a teaspoon of baking powder to that. And to that, we're going to add in a quarter of a cup of cocoa powder. And I'll switch the palette attachment. What we're going to do now is just gently mix this in until it's just will combine. You do not want to overmix it. Okay, so not everything is all well combined just yet, and I'll tell you why. And the reason is because we're gonna add the last few ingredients for this cookie dough, and as I said, it's a little bit undermixed because we don't want to overmix it. So I'm gonna add in, first of all, the melted chocolate and butter that we melted before. And yes, I said that it looks pasty, but that happens when you melt a small amount of butter with a pretty high amount of chocolate. Half a cup of milk chocolate chips. And finally, about 1.5 cups of M&Ms. This is equal to about the sharing size pack of M&Ms. I don't know how to show it on the camera. And never mind. What we're gonna do now is we're just gonna mix this all together until it's just will combine. Remember, you do not want to overmix it. Alright, so for the next step, I have a baking tray that I've lined with parchment paper. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take small spoonfuls of the mixture like this, and then just scoop it out onto the baking tray, whatever size pieces you want. Okay, so for the next step, I got all my dough balls on the tray. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this in the oven at 300 degrees Fahrenheit or 150 degrees Celsius for about 18 minutes. So onto that step. Okay, when they come out of the oven, they're gonna look like this. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna continue baking the rest of the dough I got, and I'll come back with the presentation, so I'll be back. Alright, our chocolate fudge cookies with M&Ms are done. Like I said, they're easy to make, they didn't take too long to bake at all, and they taste awesome. Like, I'm gonna give one of these a taste right now. Oh yeah. You see inside, there's a fudgy consistency right there, and that's the reason why it's called a chocolate fudge cookie. The M&Ms added to the cookies just make this even better. Like, I personally absolutely love M&Ms and cookies. M&Ms are one of the absolute best things that you could add to cookies. But if you tried this recipe out, leave it in the comment section down below and tell me what you thought, whether you liked it or you hated it. And if you liked this video, thumb it up. If you hated this video, thumb it down. And be sure to click the subscribe button to become a member of the JW Faction or join the 10,000 subscribers. See you later.